before we got here, you said to me, make sure you're comfortable. I think you're going to regret that now. Now I'm comfortable.
Do you know how YouTube works? You got to do like an intro.
So welcome and thank you for joining Justin and I for a candid conversation around his Forex journey. Now he's been interviewed by lots of people, but no one gets to ask him the awkward and the impolite things that I'm going to ask him. And just for future, if you would like to ask him something personal, drop a comment on YouTube or go to his Instagram handle, MoneyTribe21. Drop a comment and I will read it out and put him on the spot for you. But I think first, everyone's just wondering about the obnoxious watch on your chain. And no one gets to ask what's going on there.
Okay, so we'll get it out the way. So when I'm working and trading on my laptop, my watch strap scratches my laptop. And so I was looking for a place to put my watch but still be able to see the time. So I hung it upside down. You can see the time, see the date, all good. And then obviously it's a perfect place to put my microphone. And I didn't realize how much it would irritate people on social media. And actually, the more it irritates people, the more I want to do it, because you know I'm that naughty child who likes pushing a button. So for all the people who hate on my chain and whatever this thing is, I'm going to keep doing it because it keeps rubbing people up the wrong way. And it gives some people something to talk about.
But let's go back to your Forex journey, right?
Right.
I remember a time you called Forex horse trading.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. And you also called it a scam. So what converted you?
So I think context first. The reason why I said it was horse trading is trading requires you to be active. People think that trading is a passive thing. It's not a passive thing. You go buy the horse, you got to sell the horse, you got to buy another horse, sell another horse, right? Otherwise you don't make money. So people think trading's passive. It's definitely not passive. I've always known that. The reason why I felt it was a scam is 25 years ago I tried trading. Got sold a CD in the day the program came on a CD. The youngsters today probably won't even know what that is. But anyway, and I lost a lot of money. And I realized that the guy, and I'll never forget, he drove a silver SLK, Mercedes-Benz SLK, and had the branding Forex something on the side. And I realized after 3 months that I was indirectly paying for that car, and that the only guys making money were the guys selling the programs. Fast forward today, nothing much has changed. It's exactly the same thing. Most of the people selling signals, total scam artists, most of the signals are a scam. Most of these Forex robots are a scam. And actually that's the reason why I started looking at Forex again. On social media, I saw a lot of people getting into Forex robots. I saw a lot of South African influencers in particular promoting Forex robots. I've seen that it's become a very big thing here at home. And I felt duty bound as Mr. Money to do a story for people and show them that Forex robots are a bunch of bullshit. And so I went and bought 10 Forex robots. I put $500 into each of the bots. So there was like a decent amount of money on the table, plus what I paid for the bots. And I literally sat there and lost money, and it felt good because I was right. The bots are total bullshit. But something very interesting happened while I was doing this story. And in fact, I still haven't even published this video, and I don't think I'll ever get to publishing it and making it available. I can just sum it up. Forex robots are bullshit, right? They don't work. But in the process of making this video, I was sitting watching the charts, and particularly it was gold that the one robot was trading. And at the time, there was a lot of conflict in the Ukraine, a lot of conflict in the Middle East. And I was watching the Forex robots trading, and I was sort of watching the news, and I was thinking that this should go in this direction. And generally, the market would go in the direction I thought it would go. Often the bots were getting it wrong, because the bots were trading on technicals. I was trading on what people refer to as fundamental news. And so I didn't take any trades. I just sat there watching it for a couple of days. And I don't know what overcame me, but I felt the need to go and open a demo account and actually see if my theory was right. At that point, I knew nothing about Forex, really. I mean, just what I knew from 25 years ago. You know, buy, sell, the basics. And I literally, within the space of 17 days, doubled my demo account. And obviously, I'm very skeptical when it comes to money. I don't trust anybody when it comes to money, especially not in the Forex space. So I thought, must be the broker making these trades look good. And so I went and opened up another demo account with another broker. and pretty much doubled my account again. And then I decided to put some real money in because I thought, well, obviously I'm really clever, you know. I obviously I'm like Nostradamus. I can predict this market. And the very first day I traded real money, I saw my backside.
So when you went from a demo account to real money, it just turned pear-shaped.
It totally pear-shaped.
Why do you think that happened?
I know for a fact it was my fundamental belief system around money. So I remember that evening I came up and I said to you, like, I can't believe I've been doubling my demo account. The first day I put like real money in, I get screwed by the market. The brokers definitely tricked the system to get people to win on demo and then put real money in. And I remember you said to me, well, what has changed? The only thing that's changed in the whole system is real money. I mean, if you look at it, demo trading is an exact replication of what's happening in the market. So, I mean, theoretically, if you're making money on demo, you should make money on real money. And the only difference was it was real money and I had emotion attached to it. Whereas on the demo trading, I had no emotion attached to it whatsoever. And so I realized after going and having a look at myself and really stepping away from the trading for a bit. And by that point, I think I'd been trading demo accounts for like, I think I was into almost my third month, like 2.5 months. And I had to go take a couple of days off and figure out what is the problem. And I realized the problem is me. The problem is me and my belief system around money. Obviously, because I came up hard, I'm very scared of losing money. I'm very risk adverse. And so the moment I put real money on the table, the fear of losing just messed with my mind completely.
Trading sounds like it's very clinical, fact-based, emotionless.
Which is ironic because that's what I think in my head I am. Like if I think of myself exactly just the way you describe it. Like a robot.
Like a robot.
Clinical, unemotional. And yet, the moment I put real money on the table, it fucked with my head completely.
So if it did that to you, would a person like me, who's the complete opposite of you, could I be successful in trading?
I think anyone can be successful in trading under 3 conditions. One is you need to learn a very basic strategy, and you need to have the discipline, second, to stick to that strategy no matter what. And then third and foremost, you've got to go through a journey of discovering yourself. And I think that Forex is perhaps the greatest teacher of self than anything I've ever discovered. Like if somebody said to me they want to learn who they are, forget going to a monastery and a retreat. Like just go trade Forex. It'll teach you everything you don't know about yourself. Because the parts that are exposed are the parts that you don't know. The parts that you think you know, well, those are the parts that are going to catch you.
Is there something you suggest a beginner should trade, and what do you trade?
So I started on gold purely because it makes sense to me. I understand the cycle of gold. I understand that when the dollar is getting hammered and it's in a deflationary environment, that gold's going to go up. I understand that when the world is in chaos, gold generally goes up. So gold has got a level of predictability to it. So I like to trade things that I can have a degree of predictability to it, because that is at the end of the day what you're looking for is predictable movements. So for me, I would suggest everybody starts on gold. I would say people should stick away from cryptocurrency until they have a really firm handle on trading. And currency pairs, maybe stick to the major currency pairs like USD, Euro, USD, Pound, USD, Japanese Yen. I think those would probably be the safe bets to start. But for most people, start on one asset class. And I would always suggest gold as a starting point. There's enough volatility in gold to make money, and there's enough movement to teach you lessons. And you need movement in the market to teach you lessons. If the market's not moving, there's no lessons to be learned. There's no money to be made.
Makes sense. But maybe it makes sense because before you found Forex, you've been in business.
Yep.
And you've been in the investing space for like 25 years, right?
Yeah.
Not giving away your age, but do you think that has had any impact on your success at trading or your understanding of it at all?
I think it's given me a very unfair advantage. I think if you take me versus a normal person, I've got a couple of unfair advantages. First of all, I've been investing for 25 years, right? So in 25 years, you learn how the market cycles work. You understand that what goes up will come down and what goes down will come up. I mean, I remember 2008 when the housing crash happened. I just sold one of my businesses. I had a lot of money and I was completely freaked out. I didn't know what to do with that money because I didn't yet understand a market cycle. Everything was going down, banks were closing. All I needed to do, looking back in retrospect, is go and buy everything that was on sale. Because that's what happens. When the market crashes, everything goes on sale. I should have bought property. I should have bought distressed companies. I should have bought distressed stocks. But instead, like everybody else, I held on to my cash. And that was a big mistake. And so, a decade on, I've now seen multiple market cycles. And I've seen it for 2 decades in my business career. To understand that there's certain things that repeat itself in the market. So when there's an all-time high, the next thing coming off an all-time high is there's going to be a low somewhere. When there's an all-time low, there's a high coming somewhere. So there's definite advantages to me, not just having been in business, but having been a traditional investor. And I think that leads into the kind of things that I trade. So we refer to pretty much all the stuff that I'm trading as Forex, but actually I'm more of a commodities trader. I like to trade things I can see, feel, and touch. I don't want to trade things that they can print more of because there's already enough variables in the market, and I want as little change as possible. So with gold, I know there's a finite supply. With silver, I know there's a finite supply. With gold, soybeans, with sugar, with energy, there's certain things that I know when I trade them, there's only so much of it available.
So you mentioned things that I can feel and hold,
Yeah.
the tangible things,
Yeah.
right? What about Bitcoin? I don't know anything about Bitcoin, but is that would you suggest someone that's new try to trade that?
No, so I mean, I do trade Bitcoin because there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. So that's the only cryptocurrency I trade because it has got a limited supply. They can't just keep making more of it. But the reason why I say most people shouldn't start trading Bitcoin, it's a very volatile market and it doesn't have a lot of predictability. I mean, we've seen the market move from 70,000 a coin down to 48,000 a coin in a couple of weeks. That literally can wipe somebody's wealth out. Okay. So I don't suggest people start in cryptocurrency. I think it's very risky. I think the safe place to start is to start with probably gold and then probably move to indices like the S&P 500, the NAS 100, NAS 30, because these things are underpinned by fundamental value. So when you buy an index, you're basically buying a group of companies, right? Mm-hmm. It has value.
Okay, so this is a bit of a contradiction, but I don't know if you remember the time when I saw this one-liner on TikTok about the lunar cycles.
So I went over 4 years collective data set of full moon cycles, and I found that in 83% of the cases, the gold market in particular moved down.
Why do you think that is? I know it's going to sound airy-fairy what you're saying.
No, I think it's a good question because a lot of people don't often get to see the side of me, but I'm very energy based, I'm very energy driven, and so I'm very fascinated by the natural order of the world. I like to call it natural sciences, right? The natural sciences of the world. And so it just makes sense actually if you think about it. When the moon is a full moon, it's closer to Earth, it has a stronger gravitational pull on Earth. It affects the tides. That's why we have spring tides and spring highs and spring lows. And so naturally, if you think about what is money, money is energy, right? If you think about what are we as people, we are energy. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And so I strongly believe that it is a stronger gravitational pull that affects those markets, right? And so obviously gold being what gold is. I mean, we won't go into the whole discussion of the aliens and Anunnaki and all of that, but I think there's something there. I think there's enough data for me just to look at the logic of what happens. I don't necessarily have to understand why. I just have to know that it happens. And I think this goes back to my thing about manipulation in the market. People are saying, well, the institutions manipulate the market, the governments manipulate the market. I don't care. I really don't care. I just care that I'm on the right side of manipulation. So if the moon is really affecting the markets and pulling in a certain direction, I want to know that and trade with that momentum for the day. I really don't care why it happens. But on a deep level, the Justin Harrison level, I believe it's energy, and I think it is part of our natural sciences and the natural order of the world. And if you delve into energy a bit, you'll get the answer.
In keeping with the aliens and the weird
Oh,
things
Lord.
that you might believe, are there any weird rituals that you do before you trade?
Yeah, so I wake up every morning. First thing I do is I get myself cleaned up for the day. First thing I do, after having a cup of coffee and a cigar. First thing. And the reason why I have that cup of coffee and that cigar is because, first of all, nicotine is a wonder drug. It's the carcinogenics in cigarettes that are bad for you. So cigars really good for you, and if you can afford it, you should smoke cigars. Cup of coffee, I love my coffee. It gets the brain fired up. It gets me in the right state of mind. The very next thing that I will do after I've squared myself up is I will spend at least 15 to 30 minutes just breathing and meditating in my office. And I prefer to do it under low light. I don't like to do it in a bright light. I do some very specific breathing exercises, and the reason why I do that is I'm trying to regulate my mood. I'm trying to regulate everything to make sure that I don't introduce a different set of variables. So I want to trade the same way I traded yesterday, the same way I traded today, right? So I make sure I've gone to the toilet. I make sure that when I sit down, I'm ready to trade. I also set the room temperature to exactly the same room temperature that I trade at every day. Because again, I don't want extra variables. I like exactly 22.5 degrees in my office. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to trade at. And there's enough variables in the market that I have this little ritual that I follow to make sure that I have the same process every day. If I come to my trading for the day and I've missed something, I generally won't trade.
Basically, if we have a fight in the morning,
you're
not trading. So if I need you to have a day off, a lot of people ask this question: why aren't you driving a supercar? Where's the Lambo?
So long before you and I got married, I was a young man on the come up, and I've owned 61 cars. And I truly love cars. I truly love cars. It is a point of obsession for me. There was a time when driving a Porsche in this country was particularly special. Today, it's not that special. Today, if you drive a Porsche, you're just like every other doctor. And so for me to have a very special car today requires me to be very visible in public. That's the first thing. Because the car that I'm going to buy, everybody will know it. And it will be one of one or one of very few. And so I'm very cognizant and aware of the country that we live in. And I think it presents its own challenges. I think sometimes it might be a little bit insensitive to display that kind of wealth in the country that we live in. I also think it attracts unnecessary attention on my family that I don't want. We have a real safety issue in our country that I'm concerned about. And then on a much deeper level, as a man who's pretty much owned everything I want, I mean, you guys joke about it, I'm hard to buy birthday gifts for because I've got everything that I want. I can honestly say that just buying another car to add to the list of 61 that I've already had is not going to fundamentally do anything for me. And I'm yet to find that one car at this point in my life that I actually want to hold on to. In fact, there's one car that I've genuinely loved out of all my cars, and it's the least flashy. Do you know which one it was?
No.
My Jeep.
Oh.
And I've had a few Jeep Wranglers that I love, custom built them, love them, right?
It's got a special place.
But I find that for me, the true thing that I'm seeking is actually freedom. And so attaching myself to material possessions, my possessions end up possessing me. And I've been there. I've had the 6-car garage. I've had the 800 square meter house. I land up being enslaved by it. And so the thing I'm chasing at this stage of my life is freedom. I have a big goal in mind. And honestly speaking, I actually prefer being driven these days to actually driving. But having said that, I am still a car person. So if I want to go and drive a supercar, I will fly to Dubai. I'll go rent a Bugatti for 2 weeks and enjoy it for those 2 weeks and hand it back and not worry about the maintenance, not worry about the insurance, not worry about all the crap that goes with it. Because I truly believe it's a poor man's mentality to try and accumulate things all the time. At some point, once you've got over that, which I think I pretty much have, I don't want to own the private jet. I want to fly first class. I want to get treated like a king. I want to get off and leave that problem behind me. I don't want to get off and worry about the staff's salaries, to worry about the hangar, to worry about the insurance, to worry about inspections. So for me, it's a choice of freedom, combined with the other aspects I was talking about.
Now, what do you think about people that think you're a scam?
Well, first of all, I mean, I think where the scam thing comes in, a lot of influencers like myself are falling victim to these guys who go out there, clone our profiles, and then contact our followers, making out as if they're us.
That's right.
So, from that perspective, I'm just going to make it really fucking simple for people. If I contact you first, you know it's not me. I don't have time to sit messaging people. I run multi companies, right? I have investing stuff going on. I've got shit going. I don't have time to sit messaging you
Following people
privately on Facebook or Instagram. If you message me first and I've got time, I will try and make time for a reply. But generally, I don't even reply to my own messages, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is anybody who has their doubts about me, which I don't know if there are many people out there, because most of the people that have been following me and following my journey for the last couple of years know that I'm the fucking real deal. Because not only have I spent 3 years on social media teaching people about money, sharing my story, sharing my journey, where I came from poverty through businesses that I built, on the come up, losing it, making it again. I've shared that whole story publicly for more than 3 years. All you have to do is go back on my feeds on social media and my story is there for you to see. I'm the same person in front of you today that came on camera 3 years ago to tell my story. The only thing is I got some newer teeth and my wife is hotter these days.
Thanks, babe. But why do you love Forex?
So, look, I didn't love Forex. I've fallen in love with Forex, right? I want to say, like, Forex has become a mistress to me. What I love about Forex is it is, to me, the most equal opportunity I've ever discovered in the world. If you get Forex right, it has the ability to change your life. And I'm not just talking from a financial perspective. You don't have to kiss anyone's ass to make this money. You don't have to present a personality to keep everybody around you happy. You don't have to go into a job and fucking, do shit that you don't want to do and be in a space you don't want to be and fucking go and commit yourself to 8 hours a day, just like slaving away. Like, this is true freedom. And it doesn't care about your color, doesn't care about your age, doesn't care about your religion. It is completely agnostic. The Forex market only cares about one thing: your money. That's all it cares about. And you're either making money from the market or you're giving money to the market. It is very transactional. It's very logical. And when you break it down, it's actually a very simple market. The hard part is the people. The people who are trading are the problem in the situation, because if you're not making money, it's not the market is doing you in. You just haven't figured it out. And so what I love about Forex is it's an equal opportunity. You can do it anywhere in the world. It's geographically independent. I don't have to care about all the political bullshit that's going on in the world. I don't have to care about black economic empowerment, white economic empowerment, yellow economic empowerment. I don't have to care about any of that shit. I just have to get to my computer and make money. I like to say this, that I have made my money the hard way, transactionally through business. You work for 10 years, you build up a baby, you nurse it, you maybe get a little bit of a nice life in between, you live out of it, and then you make your real money when you sell the business. And then generally when I've sold those businesses, I've held onto that money so tight because it's been so fucking hard to make that money. I've had to break myself to make that money, 18 hours a day, kissing ass, doing deals, sitting in boardrooms, listening to client shit that I don't want to listen to, right? Listening to some incompetent human being convince me that they're right when I know they're wrong. Like, this is business, right? And if you're in a job, you probably experience the same thing too. This money is the easiest fucking money I've ever made in my life, because all I have to do is push a few buttons. And just by applying some knowledge and applying some rules, I can make money. We can go anywhere in the world, and my fucking money follows me. And I think what's different for me about making this kind of money, which is why people might see a little bit of a change in my personality over the next few years. I've been very conservative with my money because the way I've earned it has been hard. Now, the way I'm earning it is fucking easy, and I can go to that market any day, 24/7, and make money. It's an ATM machine literally waiting for me to go and get my money. And so I, for the first time in my life, can see myself spending money and enjoying it. And that's why I love Forex. I've never had a chance to truly enjoy my money. I mean, you know that every bit of money that I've ever earned, I've taken care of other people. I took care of family, took care of friends, I took care of everybody else. This is the first time this is for me. And so there is no reason not to love Forex. I'm totally in love with it. Plus, when I'm trading, I find it really cathartic, even on the bad days. I find it as a place for me to apply my mind. And if I don't have a place to apply my mind, I think I'll go batshit crazy. Which I literally believe that through divine intervention, I found Forex. I don't want to have another marketing meeting. I don't want to have another fucking HR meeting. I don't want to fucking deal with some stupid ass clients who thinks they're right. I don't want to deal with some corporate fucking bullshit policy. I don't want to deal with fucking compliance. I just want to click buy, sell, make money, enjoy.
If you want to become the best version of yourself and achieve financial success and freedom, join Money Tribe 21 and be part of a like-minded community. Not only will you have access to Justin's highly acclaimed Forex course, you will also join hundreds of people who have changed their lives through groundbreaking business, investing, and personal development content. To find out more, go to moneytribe21.com or check out the link in the description.
Forex is a godsend.
It's like the perfect thing for you.
It's like the perfect, but I truly believe that I was made for this. The timing was off. I needed 20 years to marinate. I needed to pick up some life experience to be able to do this.
But like all things in your life, you like learning the hard way. You love learning.
I only learned the hard way, and I think that's what makes me a great teacher. You know, I don't need to teach. I mean, fuck. Anybody listening to this, please go take somebody else's courses. I really don't need to teach. I teach those who really want to learn, right? And my way of teaching is unconventional because my way of learning is unconventional. I fucking bump my head hard. The only way for me to learn is to fuck myself up. That's why I got broken back, plates in my head, screws in my shoulders, because the only way I learn is through proper feedback. I got to fuck myself up and then I learn. And the reason I'm such a great imparter of knowledge is because it comes from a place of experience. So one thing, there's a lot of youngsters running out there who can regurgitate shit from a book. It's very different when you've actually lived through it yourself. And I only teach things I've lived through. So that what makes me an exceptional teacher. And I think there's, again, divine intervention in it. I believe that my personality was crafted so that I can suffer and pass on lessons to others. Because most people are never going to suffer the way I've suffered.
To me, trading seems difficult, right? Because I'm not a logical person. I'm not very disciplined, as you know. But I see a lot of young people successful. I see lots of young people on the internet, in person, driving very nice cars, lots of jewelry. It makes it look easy. So are you telling me all these young kids with tattoos and personalities are actually good at trading?
I think there's a lot of people successful in the space that you wouldn't expect to be successful.
Yes.
Because it is anticipated that if you have tattoos and if you are maybe look like me and you don't wear a suit and tie,
you won't be successful.
That you're not a traditional finance guy, so therefore you won't be successful.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, most of the finance guys are a bunch of fucking dead wood, right? They're the connections to the industry, right? The connection to the industry is the broker, the guy that you see wearing the suit and the tie, right? In the insurance or finance space. When you place your money into an investment firm, you get the guy who's selling it to you and presents it in a perfect portfolio and is wearing a necktie and a suit because it looks safe. Go into the back office of those institutions and see who's really trading the money, see who's really investing the money. It's guys who have they're sloppy, they're badly dressed, they're a bit quirky, they're a bit out there.
The Wolf of Wall Street himself.
And I'll tell you why. Because you have to be an outlier to be successful, right? If you act like everybody else and you think like everybody else and you do like everybody else, you're going to get everybody else's results.
Right.
So it's the outliers that are actually very successful in this space because they're willing to take the risk, right, to get the reward.
They're a bit crazy.
They're a bit fucking mental, right? I say this all the time. To be the kind of trader I am, you've got to be a bit fucking mad. To make the kind of money I'm making, you've got to be a little bit fucking touched. Most people who've made the kind of money I've made would go and put that money away, right? I'm gambling it all. I want to go bigger, right? And that's a mindset that's not normal to the average person. And the same thing in business. The guys who are successful in business are outliers. They're not your normal people. You won't catch me wearing a tie and a suit unless I'm going to a fucking funeral or a wedding or something very important. Because I actually I don't want to say this to sound nasty, but I almost look down on people who wear suits and ties, and I'll tell you why. Because I employ them, right? I'm not part of the slave force. I've never considered myself part of the slave force. So when you see these outliers who are able to achieve the success, it's because they think differently. They don't want to be part of the machinery. And I think that's the key.
I'm just going to look for all the tattooed crazy people and go, oh, you must be very intelligent.
So can I get my tattoos now?
If it's my name, yes. What's the most common question you get asked?
How much should I start with? That's the most common question I get. How much money should I start with? And my answer is always the same. You shouldn't start with any money. Okay. You should start with a demo account. And you should learn to trade that demo account consistently and make consistent profits. It's not good enough to turn 1,000 into 2,000 and do that 2 times and think you can trade. No. You need to learn for a period of 6 months to consistently make 2 to 3 to 4% a day, right? It's exceptional money when you're doing that. Once you can do that, move on to a small account, $100. Don't think because you trade a $1,000 demo account, I can now put $1,000 for real money in. No. That shit's going to fuck with your head. You need to go put $100 in and prove that you can do the same thing that you did on demo accounts on $100. And once you do that consistently, then you can put money behind it.
If you guys want to ask any questions to Justin, maybe he hasn't replied to a comment, maybe it's an awkward question or a personal question, drop a comment here, drop a comment on his Instagram, on any of his posts, and I'm going to start searching for them and sit down with him again and ask him those awkward questions for you.
Since I've started trading, what has changed in my personality for you? Because I believe it's had a very big personality shift for me.
You know exactly where your life is going right now. You always have known the kind of direction it's going. You've always kind of known what you're going to do. But this is the perfect hand in glove moment for you. I've seen you settle down and calm down. And there's a certain flow to you. When you get up and you know you're going to be trading, there's no pressure. There's no anxiety. Let's say you went gambling, which you don't. If you had to lose money gambling, for example, you'd probably be really upset because the way you were wired previously is, I just lost money that I worked really hard for. But if you lose money when you trade, you just come upstairs at the end of the day and say, oh, I lost this much, and don't worry, tomorrow's another day, I'm going to make it, which I've never heard you say. Because I know you to be the kind of guy, like, if we had to pay like $10 extra for something, you'd be like, why did we pay $10 extra when it's actually cheaper down the road? Or so it's
a funny story, right? So Chris says to me the other day, he's like, this bank that we use, like they're putting up their bank fees, like a hell of a lot, like from, I think it's like $120 a year to $1,000 a year. So I said to him, yeah, it's going to cost $83.33. And he's like, only you would know that it's going to cost $83.33 per month. That's just the way my brain is wired, coming from a place of poverty. And what Forex has given me, it's given me the unlimited ATM machine. I know where to go get my money. And I go get my money every day consistently. If I don't get my money today because the conditions weren't perfect. And I like to give the example of fishing. You can pack the boat, you can put the rods on, you can go fishing, you know the fish are there. But the fish might just not be biting on that day, right? And so it's not my fault. Nothing changed. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm just going to come back tomorrow and do the same thing and catch fish, right? If I don't catch fish for 2 or 3 days, I'm okay. I'm going to catch fish, right? And I've never, ever had that peace of mind. I've never had that comfort level. So much so that I think you've maybe even seen my spending patterns change a little bit, because I've been very tight with money. I genuinely don't give a fuck about money anymore. It's the weirdest thing. You swipe the fucking card, I don't care. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. And my goal has always been in my life to get to a place where I don't have to have a budget and worry about a budget. My whole life has been about budgeting and making sure I spend less than I earn and accumulating capital so that I can have investments that give me passive income so I don't have to work for money, right? But there's always a limit and a cap on that. Here, there's no cap, right? So I felt my anxiety go, which is really strange because most people who trade, it gives them anxiety. For me, the trading has actually taken away my anxiety. And I think the thing that's taken away my anxiety is that I know for absolute certain there's a place to go get money every day. right? You can now fucking drop me off anywhere in the world and I'm going to make money. As long as I've got an internet connection, I'm going to make money, right? And to me, that's the most liberating thing alive. I think Forex, if taught correctly and learned correctly, is the single greatest driver of freedom that you could potentially have. But I also think a lot of people are trying to do it the wrong way. They're trying to treat it as a job, and Forex is not a job. There are days you'll make money, there are days you lose money, right? If you come at 8 o'clock every morning and think like you're going to walk into an office and do a job at work, it doesn't work that way. I can sit and watch those charts for 4 hours and take one trade.
So what do you say to someone, let's say a housewife, that's obviously not the normal kind of person that would come to you and say, hey, I want to learn trading, but there was someone that attended a meetup and she was a housewife and she said, like, I just want to do this to get some independence and earn some money and a little bit of income. What would you say to someone looking at it from that perspective?
I'll give the same answer I give to anyone. It's a stock standard answer. I don't care if you're a housewife, if you're a baker, candlestick maker, it's the same answer for everyone, right? You need to understand the basics first. You need to get the basics. I mean, I've had guys coming in doing my course that have literally been trading for 7 or 8 years. They came back and they were like, okay, I did your course. I was like curious because you're producing big results. And I suddenly realized why you're producing those results. Because so much bullshit has been injected into me over the last 7 years. What you've done is you've removed all of that crap. And this is what people don't understand. Trading is actually fundamentally simple. We complicate things. So I don't care how experienced you are or inexperienced you are. You need to go back to basics. If you're not making money consistently, if you're not putting money in your bank account consistently through trading, you're doing something wrong. I don't care if you come to me and say, I've been trading for 7 years. I don't care how many years you've been trading. How many years have you been profitable? How many days are you consistently profitable? What is your consistency in terms of win, right? And so whether you're a housewife or whatever, my advice is going to be the same. You're going to achieve fuck all if you don't put time into it, right? I mean, you saw when I decided to start trading, I started taking courses on Udemy on Forex, and I fell asleep to every fucking single one of them.
I know.
I used to fall asleep on the couch listening to it because it was so fucking boring, right? And I decided that I need to find another way to teach myself. And so I started developing my own theories and I started looking at things differently. Now, of course, I studied all the books and the technical analysis and everything. But the reason why I teach with a little bit of entertainment to it, and I say stupid shit, and I say crazy shit, and I swear a lot, and I keep things entertaining.
So we don't fall asleep?
So you don't fucking fall asleep, you know? I mean, for God's sakes, people, I'm presenting you the greatest opportunity on fucking planet Earth, which is to make more money. And do you know that when you got that money, you can employ slaves to do everything for you? You want your shoes cleaned? Give a piece of paper. You want your ass wiped? Give a piece of paper. You want to go to fucking best hospital? Give a piece of paper. You just need the paper. This thing gives you the opportunity to give the paper without selling your soul to get the paper. Normally to get the paper, money, you need to sell your fucking soul, right? You need to get shoved into a room full of people that you don't like. I mean, you have to deal with people who don't fucking share the same value system as you, all for the sake of money. This thing is the greatest opportunity I've ever seen to generate wealth. But at the same time, it has the greatest opportunity to erode wealth. If you come to this thing undisciplined, if you don't follow rules, it is going to bury you financially. But if you come to it with the right mindset, if you come to it ready to learn, if you come to it humble, there's a lot of money to be made. And I can come across as incredibly fucking arrogant to somebody who doesn't know me. But you've seen me when I'm trading. I am incredibly calm, incredibly humble. I never believe I know more than the market. The market is my teacher. The market is my leader. I submit to that market. The market's never going to submit to me. There's $7 trillion moving around every day that is going to fucking prove you don't know what you're talking about.
But you have a love for numbers.
Again, you know, maybe the backstory as to why I love numbers. I had a miserable fucking childhood. And my childhood was full of the wrong emotion. You know, I had adults around me who were not emotionally stable, and the only place I could find logic and a place with no emotion was numbers. Numbers have no emotion. It's black and white. And so if I can quantify something, I can understand something. And if I can understand something, that means that I'm on the right side of logic. And there's no emotion there. The market doesn't care how you feel. Your money doesn't care how you feel.
And do you think that trading should or will ever be introduced into a school curriculum?
I
Because
don't think it should ever be introduced. I think finance should be introduced. I think life skills around money and the macroeconomic picture of how the world works financially should be introduced. I think it's wrong that it's not taught at a very basic level to everybody. I think it's intentionally not taught to people. The reason why I don't think trading should be introduced is because trading can be very addictive from a gambling perspective. And I think that if you layer that on top of people who've already got issues, and the world's a fucked up place right now. We got kids who don't know what they are genetically. We've got parents who fucking God knows what they're doing with their kids, but they're all messed up. And so I think you have to introduce trading to people who are ready for stability in themselves. And I don't think that's something you introduce to a teenager at school. I think life needs to fuck you up a little bit, and you need to figure out who you are. You need to get that haptic feedback from the world. You need to go shovel shit on the front line for a bit, and then come to Forex. I don't. And the other thing I want to say, I don't believe anybody should come to Forex until they have a degree of financial stability. I don't think most people will be successful at Forex when they're chasing a bond repayment, a car repayment, when they're trying to pay off a clothing account. I don't think they're going to be successful, because that brings an extra variable to your trading. You've got to be unemotional when you make a trade.
do you feel like there's a correlation between traders and their health? Like, I see a lot of traders are actually fit. Is that an accident?
No, I think I think you cannot be a successful trader and not take care of your body, right? So, I mean, a lot of people have seen me make these comments on social media. So I've done a study of the top 100 traders, not one fat trader there, right?
Okay.
And everyone's like, oh, but you fat. Okay, listen. Context, I was 136 kilos. I worked pretty hard to get to this fucking point. And I'm still not in my perfect body. But I will tell you what I do possess. I possess the discipline to go to gym every day. I possess the discipline to push myself in gym every day. I possess the ability not to overeat. I possess the ability to say no to certain foods. If you don't have that ability and you come to an open financial market where the only two buttons to press are buy and sell, it's going to fuck you up. I think you need extreme emotional discipline. And that's why I don't believe if you can't be in control of your body, that you can actually be in control of your money.
That makes a lot of sense, though. You ask the question why, even when you're successful,
Yep.
as well as when you're not.
Yep.
I often find you asking yourself, why did I win? Or why didn't I win? You mentioned like these 4 quadrants that you use. I can't remember what they were.
So I look at every trade and I go, was it a good trade that made me money? So did I apply all my rules?
Yes.
Was it a bad trade that made me money? And in other words, I skirted one of my rules. I didn't follow through 100% of my rule.
Yes.
Maybe I took the entry too early, too late. And then I look at it as a good trade that lost me money. Is it a bad trade that lost me money? And I'm only not okay with myself when they're bad trades. If it's a bad trade that made me money, I'm equally upset with myself as when I take a bad trade that loses me money. It's the same level of emotion.
Why? If it made
Because
you
I didn't apply my rules. And so irrespective, because I got lucky. And so that market could have moved against me. I just got lucky that it made money if it's a bad trade. And so I need to be more disciplined to take better trades.
Why did you take a bad trade?
It always comes back to emotion. For some reason, I had fear of missing out on the trade. I was over anxious, over eager. It always comes back to an emotion. And so as disciplined and robotic as I am, I still make emotionally bad decisions from time to time. If I look at 100 trades, out of the 100 trades, I will probably take 20% of my trades will be trades that I shouldn't have taken.
Do you think that's something you can slowly remove from
For sure. And that's why I'll go down in history as one of the greatest traders that ever lived. Because I'm applying myself to becoming better at that one thing.
So you'll become the best robot that ever lived.
Yeah, you know, I want to be cautious with the word robot, because robots generally don't have the ability to interpret very well.
Well, you said earlier, fundamentals and...
Exactly. So if Forex, like a Forex robot, to explain it, Forex robots just trade technicals, typically.
Technicals, yes.
And so if they were successful, there'd be no real traders in the world, right? And if I go back to the real world in terms of, like, let's take sporting games, why don't we go and watch, I don't know, robots play soccer? there's always going to be actual people playing soccer. They're always going to be the stars, right? Because as human beings, we need the real world conditions, right? And that's why I don't believe the robots are ever going to take over everything. And that's why I'm so glad I got into trading, because ain't no fucking algorithm ever going to beat me.
You are the algorithm, babe.
I am the glitch in the matrix.
You are.
I'm not joking when I say this. I am the glitch in the matrix. I am the glitch. I am the person who should never have been successful. I'm the guy who should never have got to where I've got to. I'm the guy who should never have come to trading. I'm the guy who should never have been in finance. I'm the guy who should never have been a numbers guy. I'm a fucking glitch. I'm an anomaly.
So, babe, our time is up.
Guys, if you'd like to see more of these conversations, because I certainly know that I find a lot of pleasure in watching other people's conversations like this, because we learn through passing on these stories, right? We learn through receiving these stories. So if you guys would like to see more of this raw, really unedited content, it's something that we're playing with. It's an idea that I'm toying with for the YouTube channel. If we get, how many likes? 200 likes.
Okay.
If we get 200 likes on
200
this
likes.
video, and at least 20 comments, then we'll do another video like this.
But now don't forget to press the subscribe button. Don't just leave a comment.
Say subscribe.
Subscribe.
So guys, yeah, if you want to see more, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully it all recorded.
I just hope the same thing.